What is up, everybody? I'm here with Scruffy once again. This is the second time in a row for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's good to do this stream again.
Yeah. I figured for like future references, I think 8 o'clock would probably work better because that way I'm not up like super, not up till like like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. Like do like 8 o'clock. That'd
Yeah,
be easier
yeah, that probably would work a lot better. Yeah.
because my time zone is very different from yours.
Well, at least we know for next time.
Yeah. But last time was like the first time I was doing something with somebody, and you happened to be the first person to come on. So
Well, we might get more people on here.
yeah, I talked to Emperor John Kill 3D Gaming. Hold on, let me pull up the chat just in case anybody comes in. So yeah, we are pretty much early. No, that's not it. Let me share screen. People will pop up in the chat. So yeah, the video we're gonna be going over is the George Lucas sequel trilogy that Urban Acolyte talked about back in 2020. And the way he said it was kind of like the way he said it was pretty smart. Like he pointed out there's a lot, like I said in my last stream, there's a lot that I've learned from him over the years. And now that I look at it, since he stopped making Star Wars videos, I went through all of his videos and I understand all of the things that he's saying. Like he does deep discussions on Star Wars and all other Star Wars channels, and basically does comparisons to the Joseph Campbell's hero's journey in Star Wars, because Star Wars is heavily inspired by Joseph Campbell.
Yeah, even Acolyte's video that we watched last week was pretty good. So it'd be good to
Yeah.
see what he has to say today.
Oh, I remember when everybody was complaining about Gina Carano getting fired, but Gina Carano
Oh
deserved to
yeah,
get fired from The Mandalorian, in my opinion.
isn't she back now?
I mean, there's a lot of people saying that she's back. She had a lawsuit with Lucasfilm, so they talked about bringing her back for another Mandoverse show
Oh, so
as
it's
Cara
not
Dune.
confirmed. It's just speculation at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's just speculation. Down here
Why
somewhere.
why did he stop doing Star Wars videos?
Because he started his other channel where he Golden Bell Training, and his other channel did better than this one. So he decided to stick with that instead of Star Wars.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
Because he's also like a trainer. He does a lot of workouts, stuff like that. So yeah, this is the video right here.
What's up, Acolyte Squad? My name is Prince,
Let me
and
maximize the screen. Alrighty, you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Did you share the live stream on your community post?
It's actually just going to do that now. Yeah, got it so early.
Yeah. We're here earlier than anticipated, but I think
Yeah.
for if we're gonna do future live streams, I think I'm gonna set it for 8 o'clock instead of 9.
Yeah, that'd work better for me too, now that I think about it.
Yeah. Alrighty.
I'm an urban acolyte. In this video, I want to share my... What's up, Acolyte Squad? My name is Prince, and I'm an urban acolyte.
Can you hear it okay?
In this video, I want to share my
Yeah, it's
thoughts
pretty
about
good.
the news that George Lucas had plans to make Darth Maul the villain of the Star Wars sequel trilogy.
You have been well trained, my young apprentice. They will be no match for you.
I like how you did the Marvel intro.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got DC, Star Wars. Yeah,
So
I like the
want to
intro.
repeat that you heard me correctly. George Lucas had plans for Maul to be the big villain of the sequel saga, and it's been revealed in some interviews in a new book, Star Wars Archives 1999 to 2005. It's coming out in December in the US. It's already out in Europe. Now, before I get into the interview and share my thoughts, I just want to say that if you're new here, my channel is kind of like Black Belt Magazine for geek culture. It's like sipping tea and talking Star Wars and superheroes with a kung fu geek. That's me. So if you're into that sort of thing, hey, be sure to subscribe to get all of the videos. Now, about this Darth Maul thing, I initially saw this posted to Reddit, but I traced it back to some Star Wars forums where there's an ongoing discussion regarding this news about Maul in the sequel saga. Now, I'm going to paraphrase the post, but it basically goes like this. After the fall of the Empire and the deaths of Palpatine and Vader, there was a power vacuum. Now, Maul is still alive, and just like we saw in the Clone Wars and in the Solo movie, he creates a criminal organization. Now, recall that there was this huge vacuum in the underworld after Return of the Jedi because Leia killed Jabba the Hutt on Tatooine. That's in the canon story. Now, the First Order was able to use this to their advantage by helping the Nitko cartel fill that void that was left by the absence of the Hutts. Well, in Lucas's version, Maul's organization is who fills that void that's created after Jabba's demise, and Maul eventually becomes the godfather of the criminal underworld all across the galaxy. Now, at the same time, there's also an absence when it comes to Force users. Vader and Palpatine are both dead, and Luke Skywalker is the last Jedi. So as Luke is out trying to locate the 50 to 100 surviving Jedi and Force-sensitive children to build a new Jedi Order, and Leia's out there helping build the New Republic, Maul recruits an apprentice of his own who is Darth Talon. So this sets the stage for the sequel trilogy. Luke has to accept that it's going to take at least 20 years to grow a new generation of Jedi because his students are all children. Leia and the New Republic are dealing with wrestling control of New Republic territories from all of these gangsters. And in the shadows, you have Darth Maul and Darth Talon who are manipulating everything. Now, by the end of this trilogy, Luke would have successfully rebuilt the Jedi Order, Leia would have successfully rebuilt the New Republic and become Supreme Chancellor, and by restoring peace to the galaxy, Leia would actually have emerged as the actual chosen one by the end of the Skywalker saga. Now, I can't speak for anyone else, I can only speak for myself, but I actually felt like this was the direction that the sequel trilogy was heading in up until the rise of Skywalker. Now, I know there'll be people who disagree with me. I mean, I imagine that the response when this breaks from certain YouTube channels is going to be how much better this story would have been than the sequel trilogy that we got. And look, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole because I don't really deal with the whole woulda, shoulda, coulda stuff. Look, I try my best not to think that way because it's not at all productive and it's not in line with how I try to live my life. Also, it's not the Jedi way. The philosophy that I live by, which coincides with the Jedi way, is to train yourself to see things as they are. Accept what is and don't dwell on what's not or what you would like, because that's not fruitful and it's not at all healthy. It falls in line with a Sith type of philosophy, which is to focus in on what you want to happen while you overlook what actually is happening. So I'm not going to use this as a way to crap all over the sequel saga, because if you look back at some of my older videos, you'll see why I said certain things the way that I said them, like how I kept saying that Snoke wasn't that important. I kept saying that there was someone else in the shadows, and in a few videos, I showed you guys concept art of a Sith Lord with dark talent. Now, we didn't get that story with Maul because, well, Maul met his end on Tatooine in his final duel with Obi-Wan Kenobi on a Star Wars Rebels episode. That episode had some really meta stuff going on that I didn't talk about in my review back then, but hearing that Lucas considered making Maul the big bad for the final installment of the Skywalker saga, it makes me think that Filoni stepped in and said that character may have lost that desire to achieve those things in the absence of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And what is cool is that a lot of these ideas actually are playing out within the Filoni-verse. One of the other ideas Lucas mentioned was having planets controlled by Imperials who became warlords and got in bed with the gangsters following the collapse of the Empire. And if you can't see where this is going, I'm talking specifically about Moff Gideon in the Mandalorian series. Moff Gideon is an Imperial warlord out in the Outer Rim territory where much of the events in Season 1 occur of The Mandalorian. Also, the Aftermath trilogy by Chuck Wendick also dealt with the idea of Imperial warlords continuing to function after the collapse of the Empire. The truth is that a lot of the elements from this story, they did happen, and we're seeing them unfold right now in Star Wars. I also think this idea of gangsters and the criminal underworld being a threat to the Republic is something that is going to play out in the High Republic stories that are coming out next year. I'm also going to say that at some point there will probably be a Sith Lord who is pulling all of the strings there, and we might even see some other Force beings if the story ventures deep into the unknown regions like we were initially told. So before you start to believe the smoke and mirrors that some of the more popular Star Wars people who lack critical thinking skills are going to try to sell to the fandom, I want you to remember this. Look, Lucasfilm never buries ideas. They recycle everything. Whether you loved or you hated the sequel trilogy, it did one good thing. It got the creative folks at Lucasfilm to sit down and work on a big Star Wars project for 6 years. All of those ideas that we didn't see in the 3 movies to end the Skywalker saga are totally open to appear somewhere else. Another thing to think about, and I've said this multiple times, but George Lucas created Luke Skywalker as a way to put himself into the story. George retired and sold his company to Disney. As much as some people were disappointed and hurt by how Luke Skywalker was portrayed in the sequel saga, a lot of Star Wars fans weren't particularly kind to George Lucas following the prequels. So maybe the depressed and defeated Luke was a bit of a message about Lucas and the state of Lucasfilm in the final years before Disney purchased the company. Many of George's ideas actually did appear in the sequel trilogy, and you may not believe this, but Rian Johnson's installment, The Last Jedi, may have taken the most inspiration from what George wanted to do with his treatment. If we look at the bigger story, I think that Colin Trevorrow's installment really didn't fit in with the bigger narrative. And with the passing of Carrie Fisher, it basically made it impossible to arrive at this ending where Leia is revealed as the actual chosen one. Look, if we're being honest, I feel like Carrie's passing impacted the sequel trilogy more than any other creative decision, including all of the changes that J.J. Abrams made, because it sounds like there wasn't going to be a First Order at all, only Imperial warlords who held small pockets of power, and there definitely was not going to be a Palpatine. But, I mean, at the same time, this was basically J.J.'s trilogy, and he laid the seeds for Palpatine's return from the very beginning when they started working on this. So look, I'm just gonna leave you guys with this thought. It would have been really cool to see Maul return and be the big bad guy in the sequel trilogy, and you were probably still gonna get Rey and Finn. They would have been Kira and Sam though. If John Boyega had been cast as Sam, I would like to think that he would have been treated better over the course of the films, along with the other people of color who appeared in them. I mean, if George Lucas had been involved, they definitely would have. But what happened is what happened, and we can't change the past. We can only focus on the present. Now, as great as this idea might sound, it's not the story that we're going to get. Maul is dead. Talon could appear at some point. Personally, I would like to think that there are other Sith out there who never were part of the whole Rule of Two band order. That's a card that I'm keeping close to my chest because I'm not ready to reveal why I feel that way. But all of you who love Legends, I know that was a thing in Legends, that there were other Sith out there who were not part of the Darth Bane order Rule of Two Sith. But like I said, Lucasfilm finds ways to recycle and reuse ideas all the time. Maybe this idea of a Dark Lord of the Sith creating a new version of Maul's Crimson Dawn can be a thing to challenge the New Republic that's trying to rebuild itself after the events from the sequel trilogy. I mean, what happened with the Acolytes of the Beyond? Did they all find their way to Exegol and become part of the Sith Eternal? Or did they go from emo kids stealing Sith artifacts and tearing these cities up to some kind of criminal organization that we don't yet know about? See, what I've just said could totally set up this idea that Lucas had. Rey Skywalker is in this place where she has to find out if there are any surviving Jedi. Maybe Ahsoka, Cal Kestis, and Ezra Bridger have been hanging out with Baby Yoda somewhere out in the unknown regions or out in wild space. And Rey has to train Finn and a bunch of kids like Broom Boy. The New Republic is trying to rebuild itself, and you've got pirates and gangsters running loose all over the galaxy with no one to keep them in check. So with this situation, you can pick up the story in 20 years with an older Rey and Finn with their new generation of Jedi, and the story picks up with new heroes and a new story. And in the meantime, you use the Filoniverse to set all of this up. You use the small screen to introduce this new guy or gal, maybe it's Darth Talon or someone, I don't know. But you use the Disney Plus shows, the books, and the animated shows to build this person up with the hardcore fans so that now everyone wants to go to the movies and see them in a big story that pulls everything together. And that right there is how you take this idea that Lucas had and you use it to continue to tell Star Wars stories into the future. Because it's like this. If I write a story that people don't like, look, I can always start over fresh on a new page. And it's easy to sit here and dwell on the things someone doesn't like about the decisions folks at Lucasfilm made 2 years ago, 3 years ago. That's actually quite foolish because all of that stuff happened in the past and it's not what's happening right now. It's like my Sifu says, my present is your future. If you stay stuck in the past, you can never catch up. And personally, I'd prefer to focus on the present. Those other guys can stick to crying and complaining about the past, but I'm saying one day people are going to get tired of hearing it and want something fresh. And really,
he's made videos calling out
all of these stories about what Lucas had intended, what the original plan was for this thing, or that project that people didn't like. Look, hindsight is not actually 20/20. Hindsight is distorted by how we wish to see things, how we want to see things, but you can't move forward if you're always looking back. And I'd rather just be content with what's right here in front of me. So yeah, George Lucas wanted to connect the sequels to the prequels by having Maul be the villain of the final 3 movies. But that didn't happen. George changed his mind a lot. And well, that whole thing ended when Maul tried to take on Ezra as his apprentice, which resulted in his demise on Tatooine. Now, some people will tell you how this could have saved the saga, but the truth is, those people would have just found a new reason to complain about something they didn't like. Now, I'm not going to be part of that group. I'm just telling you what's in this new book and how I feel about it. So if you want to read this stuff for yourself, again, the book is called Star Wars Archive 1999 to 2005. You can pre-order it on Amazon right now and it should ship in December. I'll try to remember to post it to my Amazon store so you can click there to get your copy. It sounds like it's full of all kinds of other insightful articles about the Force and midi-chlorians and other ideas that George was working with during the prequels. Also, before I go, I just want to tell y'all to be on the lookout for my Mandalorian Season 2 review series. I'll be talking about the hero's journey as the story progresses and tracking the big 3 themes just like I did back in Season 1. The first review is already posted and I'm finishing up last week's episode right now. It was actually going to be the next video that I post, but I saw this story while I was actually editing that review video. Also, if you want to check out something that's actually relevant to the sequel trilogy, be sure to check out my discussion on Rey, Luke Skywalker, and the hero's journey of both characters. I really talk about how and why Rey had to pass Luke on her path to becoming a Jedi. It's a pretty deep lesson on all that Joseph Campbell stuff in Star Wars.
And that's what we watched last time. We watched the truth on how Rey was always meant to pass Luke Skywalker.
He makes some good points in this video as well, just like that video we watched last week.
Yeah, like he talked about how George's ideas are being used, but they're not being used in the same way that was originally intended. But like
Yeah,
it's still setting up. They're still using like ideas that George Lucas had. Now it's one thing like people, the fact that the way he explained it kind of tells me that like, when people like read the Bob Iger where George Lucas immediately gets upset that they're not using the same stories that he submitted, I think people are literally taking that out of context. And really, like with George Lucas's disappointment with the sequel trilogy, like people just decided to use George Lucas as a weapon and say that they're weaponizing George Lucas by calling the and using George Lucas to defend their actions, claiming that he's on the toxic side of the Star Wars fandom, and he's just because he was disappointed with the sequel trilogy and they may have gone on a different path than what he intended, that doesn't make it so that he's on their side.
yeah, and I think George must have known on some level like Disney was going to do their own version because I mean if you look at how Disney's done Marvel, they got rid of everyone pre Iron Man. So we didn't get Toby Maguire. Toby Maguire.
Yeah.
We didn't get Edward Ruffalo. Is it Edward Norton? I was going to say Edward Ruffalo. We didn't get Edward Norton's Hulk. We didn't get the X-Men. So yeah, I think on some level George must have known they would have gone largely in their own direction, using some of his stuff.
Yeah. And like it's just because they've gone in a different direction doesn't mean that they're not using his ideas still either.
Oh
Like
no,
like
they'll use it.
they're using like his ideas and then they're also pulling ideas from the expanded universe and putting their own spin on it. Like Dave Filoni is doing a thing with Ahsoka season 2 where Thrawn is declaring war on the New Republic, and he did the same thing in the EU within the Thrawn trilogy. Thrawn declared war on the New Republic.
Yeah, I mean, they own they own all the materials, so it
Like I
doesn't
can
surprise me that they
like
use
I
it.
can tell. Hold on, did you are you fit? Did you have something else to say?
Oh no, it's all you go ahead.
Oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. But
You were talking about Thrawn and
Thrawn,
how season 2 and how
yeah,
they're using the EU.
yeah, yeah. That idea that I'm seeing right now, like in the trailer, that's taken from the EU. Pretty much, they took the idea. I can tell they took the idea from the EU, and I think they're like it may not be exactly the same in the same way that Thrawn did in the EU, but it's still like taking the idea, but they're putting their own
Yeah, pretty
spin on it.
much. It's a shame. I mean, I really think they should be using Luke um a lot in, going forward because I mean, if you go like in the EU, Luke, Leia, and Han, they were at the forefront, and I think they should be. If Disney wants to have any like sort of success, they should be using them as well. But I don't know. I doubt it. I think Ahsoka is going to be the main hero of this Disney version of the Thrawn trilogy.
Yeah, we got some people in the chat. Who is this guy right here? This guy is Oli can't really pronounce his name on top. He says,
Oily Yo-Yo? Is that how you say it? I think
yeah,
that's how you say it.
yeah, that's him. He says, destroy all the sequels. And then this guy cost stanza 8934.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Seinfeld. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he said it would be really cool to see George's sequels. I would agree. I
Yeah,
would want to know
it would
more
have been,
about
yeah.
what George's sequels, because like his sequels would like take up inspiration from like the Iraq War, like what happened after the Iraq War. Like
Yeah,
you
I
fought the
saw your
war,
video showing that, yeah.
yeah, like you fought the war, but then you won the war. Then what's next after that? And it's all about like rebuilding. So by the end of the trilogy and Lucas's sequels, his idea based on the Star Wars archives is that Luke would rebuild the Jedi Order and Leia would become Supreme Chancellor of the New Republic.
Yeah, it pretty much it feels like Luke building a new Jedi Order is what would happen in whatever continuity you go with.
Yeah. Like Luke would have, like even in the Legends, even in the EU, we see Luke Skywalker, like in the new Jedi Order books, Luke rebuilding the Jedi Order, and then we even
Yeah.
see it in canon too. Like Luke Skywalker in canon attempted to rebuild the Jedi Order, but then his nephew Ben Solo turned against him and destroyed it all, and became Kylo Ren. Which
Are they
reminds me,
Yeah.
oh, say what you're gonna say.
I was just gonna ask, like, do they really have they shown how Luke built the Jedi Order in Disney canon, or have they not done that yet?
They've shown little bits and pieces, like in the Rise of Kylo Ren comic, and they also shown little bits of Luke setting up the early stages in the Book of Boba Fett of rebuilding the Jedi
Oh
Order
yeah,
when he
yeah.
almost took on Grogu as his first student, pretty much.
Oh, okay, so it's not as extensive as it was in the EU right now.
No, it's not as extensive as it was in the EU yet, but I have a feeling that Lucasfilm has something planned for like a series that I think they should do like an animated series, kind of like the Clone Wars or Rebels, but set between the events of the sequel trilogy about Luke regrowing a new Jedi Order and all of his students, and before Ben Solo fell to the dark side and joined the Knights of Ren, because Ben Solo, especially according to the concept art, like I didn't believe this at first when The Force Awakens came out, because I used to think that the Knights of Ren were some of Luke's students, but once I read the
Yeah,
concept
that's what
art
I
and the
thought
art of The
too.
Force Awakens, Ben Solo fell in with the gang and became the master of the Knights of Ren.
They should have done that show years ago, like during when they were making the sequel trilogy. I think they would have made a lot of money doing that.
I think they should. I think they should have too. Like they should have really considered that. And I think now, like if they're gonna add like original trilogy characters, like whether it's live action or animated, I think they should do like recast on the original trilogy characters. I think it would be better than doing the deep fake, because the
Yeah,
deep fake
I
is
agree.
expensive and they can't always do the deep fake. I mean, Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford. Carrie Fisher passed away in 2016, but Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford, um, they both they both are getting up there in age, and it just really doesn't make sense for them to be like for them to use CG effects and do the deep fake technology.
Yeah, and I don't think the technology's there yet. Like to do very sophisticated actions like lightsaber
Yeah,
dueling, things like that. I think
I
for what they
mean,
did with the Mandalorian is probably as far as they can go right now.
yeah, I think the only approach is to do a recast with people who look
Yeah.
look almost identical to Mark Hamill, almost identical to Carrie Fisher around that age, and almost identical to Han Solo around that age. I think that would make more sense if they did recast. And really, it wouldn't be that big of a deal because they're playing the younger versions of the character, like during the time, like of post Return of the Jedi. And I have a
Yeah.
feeling
Yeah.
that, especially with Ahsoka season 2, it really would. Now that I see like Thrawn declaring war on the New Republic, there's no way they're gonna leave Luke Skywalker out of it. Like he has to at least have like a small scene. It doesn't have to be like the big part of season 2, but at least like a small scene, and they do a recast of Luke Skywalker and Leia as well. Have Leia appear in Ahsoka season 2. I remember reading a leak. I think it was like a few months ago, and someone talked about the hint of Leia possibly appearing in Ahsoka season 2. So I don't know how accurate that leak. That's just rumors. Nothing's really like confirmed. Just rumors online, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. They need to have Luke in there because you can't have Thrawn, who's I think at this point like is the biggest threat in Disney canon at this point, and not have Luke like make an appearance. I just think be a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, and the show wouldn't do very well if Luke Skywalker
No.
wasn't in it. I think the show would have a better chance of doing better if they put Luke Skywalker in it. I think they would be surprised, especially if they like with Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie, if they do all original trilogy characters, and if the rumors are true about Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie being titled Heir to the Empire, and they have Han, Luke, and Leia, that movie would, despite I know like the original EU like has all of that already with Thrawn and like Luke Skywalker is the main hero, but if they do something similar like that in like bring a lot of the ideas from Heir to the Empire like into like the big screen in live action on screen, I think that would do and do pretty decent in the box office as far like
Yeah.
it would definitely do better than the Mandalorian and Grogu, because the Mandalorian and Grogu was a complete disaster in the box office. It didn't like flop as it didn't really like flop as hard as what some people are doing that you know who they are. Some of the people like the group that you used to be in, the Gatekeepers Alliance uh would
Yeah.
say that the film flopped hard, but they made it look like a bigger flop than what it actually was. It wasn't really like a total flop, but it wasn't good in the box office either. Like the numbers were not good. I would say
Yeah,
that.
like it made Disney money, but not nowhere near as much as they would want it to be. Like
Yeah,
it,
like
I
they
don't think Disney is looking at it like, oh, this was a good business venture. I think a lot of them are regretting making the movie.
I think they should have stuck to season 4. They would have been better off.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because season 4, I was hesitating about this a couple of years ago, and I made a video on this. I'm like, I did a video on why Disney should not go this route on the Mandalorian and Grogu, why they shouldn't be why they shouldn't go this route. I think it would be better if they do season 4, especially because according to viewership on Disney Plus, even though season 3 didn't do as well, it still is the most successful on Disney Plus, one of the most successful shows, alongside Maul Shadowlord. Maul Shadowlord did pretty well on Disney Plus as far as revenue, and a lot of people like the
Hmm.
Darth Maul show.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense why season three did so well because going off of season two, there was no way season three would be a low viewed show.
No, and I didn't think that the Mandalorian and Grogu was going to happen until it got confirmed. Like I thought this would be kind of foolish if they did it, but they ended up doing it. So I made my speculations. I wasn't exactly 100%.
Mm.
I kept making videos about why Disney they have to go with season 4, because season 4 is what's most important. Like John Favreau has confirmed that season 4 is written already, and he's also said that season 4 scripts are separate from the movie. He had to quickly come up with a script for The Mandalorian and Grogu, and he ended up coming up with a script. But thing is, another reason why The Mandalorian and Grogu didn't do so well is because of it's because it didn't take any risk. They played it way too safe. And in order
Yeah.
for a film
Mm.
to do well, like when you're making a movie, you have to take risk.
It felt like, I mean, from I haven't seen it yet, but from what I've read about people talking about it, and I've read all the spoilers, and it just sounded like a very corporate movie. So yeah, very safe, like you said.
Yeah, like they should have taken some risk with it, but it was all about like, and even watching the movie, I went in to watch the movie. Even watching the movie, it felt like a continuation of a show more than a movie. It just felt like
Oh wow.
episodes crammed together, and also at the very end, Grogu becomes the hero, and it just, to me, they could have taken some risk. If they had somewhat taken some risks, they probably would have made it to like maybe 400 million, 500 million if they took some risk, but they didn't. It was more corporate. It was too many risks that were taken.
They should have done what they did with Alien Romulus and just put it straight to Disney Plus if they really
Yeah.
wanted to do a movie so bad.
Well, it's coming to Disney Plus September 2nd, so we'll see how well The Mandalorian and Grogu does on Disney Plus. And also, I heard from most people who watch The Mandalorian, like at least people that I've talked to, they said they would not want to see that on the big screen, and they would prefer to see that on Disney Plus. So maybe it could
Oh,
do
that's
well on
surprising.
Disney Plus. That's a maybe, but
Yeah, yeah.
we'll have to wait and see what the results are. It'd probably be like a week later, week or two later, and it's already on Disney Plus, and that'll determine if it's gonna do well or not do well. Like I
Yeah.
remember when Brandon was reacting to my video a while back, he says, if I were Lucasfilm, I wouldn't even show this movie on Disney Plus.
Well, well, he never has like he'd never watch it, so he can't really have an opinion really if he's not going to watch it. What good
I
is
know,
his
like
opinion?
if you're not gonna watch something, why judge and say I wouldn't show this movie on Disney Plus? That to me
Exactly, like
that just I don't even want to say it, but that sounds like yeah.
yeah, I know what you mean. Like if he really doesn't want to give Disney money, he could always just sail the seven seas and watch it, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's not hard to do.
And technically like with uh with like in Disney Star Wars canon, then we have George Lucas canon, which is the 6 films and the Clone Wars, and then we have the EU in the 6 films. That's Legends canon. So it's kind of like it's 3 separate continuities in Star Wars. You have both Legends canon and then the continuity that George laid out, like which is the movies. And that's what George Lucas cared more about was his movies that he made.
Mm,
That's what he cared most about for the franchise, because it really he's really proud of his work and the stuff that he did, which I can understand that from a point like, and it's not to say that George Lucas didn't care about the EU. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that George Lucas did care about the EU. He did care, but he also like respected it as its own thing.
Yeah, it's very evident that that's the case. Yeah, like
Yeah.
he cared about it. He
Like there
wasn't
were
just
things that he
gonna.
liked about the EU,
Yeah,
like he liked the Dark Talon character. He didn't like the idea of George Lucas, George Lucas didn't like the idea of Luke Skywalker getting married to Mara Jade, but he allowed it to happen. But like, it's not that he doesn't like the character of Mara Jade. He wasn't supportive of the idea of Jedi getting married, with like Luke Skywalker as a Jedi getting married, because it's
yeah,
been well like explained in the prequels that Jedi are not supposed to get married. They're forbidden from attachment. And Jedi are kind of like priests in a way, because priests aren't allowed to get married either. Like priests and monks and like those religious parts, like
yeah,
they were they're kind of like them in a way where like they can't get married. They're only meant to help others around the galaxy, to serve the galaxy. And that's what the Jedi Knights are there for. They can't have any other like attachments, because it would be considered selfishness. And that's part of what led Anakin to the dark side in the prequels. Like Anakin had his attachments with Padme, and he also had attachments to his mother, and he allowed all of that to get to him in a way where it pushed him further and further to the dark side. And uh, Sidious saw that in Anakin, and he saw that as an opportunity. Like he used that pain within Anakin and used it in a way to his advantage to manipulate Anakin towards eventually falling to the dark side and becoming his apprentice.
yeah. Exactly. I mean, Sidious knew like the Jedi, they can't form, you know, attachments the way Anakin did, and yeah, he just exploited that. We see that in the films.
And which brings up the Jedi Quest, which I mentioned in my last video. I think they should do like a Jedi Quest in either a live action show or a movie that
Mm,
explores more of Anakin Skywalker's training during like the events of Episode 1 and 2, because we got like a time gap of 10 years, and probably a show that shows Anakin Skywalker training under Obi-Wan. And I also know like that whenever Anakin Skywalker like has his frustrations with Obi-Wan, as we see in some books. I don't know if it's particularly, because I haven't personally read all of Jedi Quest, but I've heard of the books and I've heard stuff about it. But like whenever
yeah,
Anakin Skywalker gets frustrated with Obi-Wan Kenobi, he would always go to Palpatine, and Palpatine was able to use that to his advantage to basically further exploit Anakin's weakness, and go in there, and like it gave Palpatine more of an opportunity to manipulate Anakin, pushing him closer and closer to the dark side. Like he was basically Palpatine was pretty much in the prequels like a wolf in sheep's clothing.
yeah, and they could do all that with a show
Yeah.
set before Attack of the Clones with Anakin. You know, like you said, I think it's a good idea that Disney should be doing, but
Yeah.
who knows if Disney's going to do something like that?
I think that would really benefit Lucasfilm. They could really like show more of that, and it's more of what contributed Anakin towards the dark side. Like, because Anakin and Obi-Wan, like if Qui-Gon Jinn survived Episode 1, uh, Anakin would probably get along better with Qui-Gon Jinn. and he probably would have
Yeah, I
never
could
turned
see
to the
that.
dark side if Qui-Gon Jinn survived. But since Qui-Gon Jinn died and Obi-Wan Kenobi stepped in, like Obi-Wan and Anakin had some flaws against each other. But then Obi-Wan thinks of Anakin as his brother. Of course, they have their frustrations, but they were still like friends. And Anakin, we see Anakin's frustration, and I'm also going to talk about that a lot in my Star Wars lore video on why Anakin Skywalker's death makes sense. So that's something I'm going to talk a lot about within my video.
How's that going? Your long form video.
It's going pretty good. I got halfway done with recording. I'm still recording some segments. I created a script and divided it into sections, and I'm recording each section at a time. The only issue is if I record it all at once, then I tend to go off topic easier. And it's just easier to do it
Okay.
in multiple recordings and then put it all together.
It sounds like you got a good plan with how to do this video.
Yeah, and I'm also being very careful with how I get this video out because I'm really, with this video, I want to shoot for over 100K views with this video.
That's a pretty big goal. Yeah.
Yeah, like the thumbnail that I made, like I sent you the thumbnail.
Yeah, it's a pretty good thumbnail. I like it.
Yeah, like I saw this, like I had vidIQ, like I put some images in there, and vidIQ did some of the Photoshop, and then I did the rest of it. And I put like the real, like, because it didn't show like the person, show what looked like Anakin Skywalker, so I covered the face with Anakin Skywalker.
Mm. Yeah,
Pretty much
I've
the
been seeing.
actual Anakin Skywalker dying.
I've been seeing people use AI to make their thumbnails, and it just doesn't look good at all.
No, like vidIQ, it did good with the Luke part, but then the Anakin part, I had to cover the face with Anakin's actual face.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, with what you sent, it looks pretty good so far. I mean, are you still working on the thumbnail, or is that the final?
That's the final thumbnail.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, it looks pretty good. I think you did a good job with it.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I'll use AI to a certain extent, but I'm not going to use AI for all of it. I'll have AI like structure the base because it does really good with like the base of the thumbnail structure. But as far as like the
Mm.
characters, it's horrible at making them look exactly like the characters.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few. Oh man.
Like, I would prefer, like, I'll use AI to structure the base, but I'll cover the ones that don't look like the characters with the actual characters. Basically, like I'll use both. I'll
Yeah.
use Photoshop and AI to structure the base. But I'm not going to use like AI for 100% of the time. Because AI is not good for
I
everything,
want to
and
do that.
AI's not developed enough yet.
Nah.
So it's really not. So it's good for some things, and it's funny how some people like OG would accuse me of using AI, which she's not wrong. She's not wrong. I do use AI for like Grammarly to help with spelling corrections, but she says it
Yeah.
in a way that I use AI to comprehend stuff, and that's totally out of the window. I'm like, I don't use AI to comprehend. I only use AI to help with like spelling corrections when I'm writing
No,
out.
I don't agree with what she said. It just, yeah. Grammarly's been around for years, and it's just, I mean,
Yeah, and
I've seen a lot of the stuff. I think Backseater uses AI for his thumbnails, and
oh, I can tell. I can tell by
yeah,
looking at his thumbnails like backseater. Yeah, what really pissed me off is the fact that you sent me the video of backseater, like the fact that he talks to his mom and just yells at his mom like that. That's just,
yeah,
yeah, he
yeah.
that's abusing the elderly. That's messed up.
Mm. Yeah, I
They're-
mean, it's just like I don't know how you could stay on the internet after having something like that. You
yeah,
know,
that to me that's just wrong. Like you can't just like yeah, like the fact that he does that tells me that he doesn't respect his elders.
yeah, it's not a good look at all.
No, and that's messed up. To me, that's just messed up in many ways. Like you should always respect your elders because they're the ones that
I agree.
elders are the ones that have like all of the knowledge. They've been around longer than you. Technically, they've been around longer than me. They've seen a lot more. So it's always good to respect the elders. That's what I believe. So Chris Schober said that I have interesting question. Do you think we will get that CGI version of Luke Skywalker from the Book of Boba Fett season 1, Ahsoka season 2 for the connection with Ahsoka, Luke, and Thrawn? I think the recast is a better option because they've already tried that with the Book of Boba Fett, and people had a lot to say about that.
Yeah, I don't think the technology is there yet for something like that.
Yeah, they did the same. They did something with Harrison Ford in the recent Indiana Jones movie,
Oh
where
yeah, that's right.
Harrison Ford they de-age him for just a
Yeah,
small part of the movie, but still, like they shouldn't be using like CG effects like that this early. I think that we need to give the technology more and more time to develop before any of that stuff happens. Oh. Oh, looks like my mom just texted me. She's watching my live.
oh cool.
So, yeah, I have pretty supportive family members as far as my channel goes and what I'm
That's
doing.
good. Yeah.
So, yeah, I have the potential to get up there someday, and I'm going to be working like really hard the next couple months because that's not the only lore video I'm going to do with Anakin Skywalker. In fact, this is one of the biggest lore videos that I'm doing as far as right now because I'm being really careful with this video. But then once I get this video out, I'm going to start with doing like facts about Qui-Gon Jinn as lore, and I'll do both. I'll do a set one video is like what's canon about Qui-Gon Jinn, and then another video will be like legends Qui-Gon Jinn, or same thing, canon Luke Skywalker. What did canon Luke Skywalker do during this time period? What did Legends Luke Skywalker do during this time period? And I'm really going to be pulling my information from the books, which I'm going to be reading more and more into. Like I have quite a few EU books. In fact, I got some over here. Pulling them out. So yeah, I have this one, Star Wars Han Solo's home planet erupts in war.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
And then I also have, let's see, the Crystal Star. The
Oh,
Crystal Star bone
yeah.
in. Yeah. You've read that one too, haven't you?
Yeah. It's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good book. Jedi Michael Stockpole. Michael A. Stockpole. I
Oh
Jedi.
yeah, he's pretty good. I like his books.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. And then we also have book 3 of the Black Fleet Crisis. Star
I've got
Wars.
that one, but I still need to read it.
We got another one, which is the book of. We got the book of. We got book 3 of the correlation of the Corellian trilogy. I haven't read this book yet, but I heard it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's really good. You know they did a comic for Luke and Mara's wedding.
Oh yeah, I saw that comic. I saw. I think can't remember the name of the channel. He was reading. He did a video reading the comic of Luke Skywalker getting married. I don't have that comic yet, but I plan to get that one. But I do know that happened like around the time of like the Thrawn trilogy, like towards the end. Says, what if Sebastian Stan was cast as Luke Skywalker? I wouldn't have a problem because Sebastian Stan kind of does look like Luke Skywalker, except he's a little bit taller, but they can make him appear shorter with all of the effects that they can do.
Yeah, that's been a fan cast for a long time. I remember I think it was when the sequels were coming out, people were already like doing fan casts for Luke.
Yeah. I also got Star Wars Darksaber by Kevin J. Anderson.
Ah, Darksaber. Yeah, I haven't read that one yet.
But yeah, those are the books that I possess. I also got some more over here. I got New Jedi Order. I got one of the issues of New Jedi Order over here as well. Right down here.
How long ago did you get those books?
I got those books like a few years ago. I also have the Thrawn trilogy. I've had that for a long time. I don't know where that one's at. It's probably somewhere in storage. I'll have to dig it out.
I've
But
got Heir to the Empire, the original like physical that came out in the 90s, like the year it came out.
yeah,
It's pretty good.
I have a New Jedi Order, Troy Denning, Star by Star.
Oh yeah, Troy Denning. I've been seeing a lot of people talk about Troy Denning lately.
Yeah. But yeah, there's like so many books in the expanded universe. There's a lot more books than what's in the current Disney canon right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll do more eventually, but yeah, right now.
Yeah, we also got the we also got the there was one book. Lucky Kennedy was telling me that he wouldn't recommend reading this book, but I think I have it somewhere over here. He sent me this. Oh, he sent me some X-Wing, Star Wars X-Wing by
the X-Wing books, yeah.
Rogue
They're
Squadron.
pretty good.
He actually did some like audio, but he uploaded some audiobooks to his channel.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And then he also shared with me, this is not the one he wasn't recommending, but he also shared with me The New Rebellion by Christine Catherine by Christine Catherine. Or no, Christine Catherine Russ. Yeah.
Have you got Truce at Bakura?
Say that again.
Have you got Truce at Bakura? I don't know if that's how you say that. I always second guess how I say the planet's name.
Yeah. Oh, this I think is this one. No, it's the one before that. Oh, I just remembered. So, yeah, I sent the screenshots of what OG Star Wars was saying about me, and Lucky Kennedy told me to post the images online where she was having beef with me, but then she ended up following my other Twitter account
Oh, like your
and still
private
having
one.
beef. So I took the screenshots and sent it to Lucky Kennedy.
Oh, so she's still hassling you.
Yeah, like not recently. Like the last time she made a post about me was like this was the last time. I think it was like on the 18th. She made a post about me, and she says maybe if you unblock me, you can I can show you all something like that. Like she said that I because she called me and Lucky Kennedy a coward for blocking her.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon blocked Lucky Kennedy a few hours ago.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
does she
Lucky
think he's a coward?
yeah, Lucky Kennedy said he wouldn't recommend reading the Black Fleet Crisis. The
Oh,
for
yeah, I remember him telling me about that. I haven't read that yet, but I remember him telling me about that.
Yeah, but yeah, he told me he wouldn't recommend reading that book. Let me see who's in the chat. Aren't we still getting that Star Wars Eclipse? Well, they released a trailer back in I think it was like 20. I can't recall exactly when they released it. I know it was like a few years ago. They
It's
haven't
still being
really
developed, yeah.
probably still being developed. I wouldn't expect it to come out for another year or two.
I think Zero Company came out a few days ago.
Yeah, I think I heard. Yeah, I heard about that. Zero Company. It was. I heard from what I heard, it was pretty okay. I've heard from some people. But yeah, Lucky. Also, Brandon ended up blocking Lucky Kennedy. He made a post about that.
Yeah, yeah, he blocked him. He was Brandon was defending that Ahsoka um figure again, and it was just, yeah, just real disgusting, honestly.
Like he was and the thing is it doesn't really matter if Brandon blocked Lucky Kennedy because Lucky Kennedy already had him blocked.
Yeah, I mean, like I told Lucky Kennedy, but Brandon always used to tell me that if someone blocks you, you win. So I guess Lucky won.
Yeah, like OG Star Wars blocked me, so I won the debate against OG Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, if she blocked you, then yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like it's just funny. It's just funny how these people are sometimes. Like I
Yeah.
can't help but laugh sometimes at what they're doing. Like I sent you that one where Star Wars Forge talked to Retney's holocron.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that.
Like he literally like called him a fake fan and a total embarrassment and literally just trying to cause trouble. But the way Retney holocron handled it was pretty good. He said, "Yeah, there's a reason why you and your friends get blocked because he also blocked Star Wars Scran."
Oh yeah, Scran. Yeah, he's yeah. No, it's not
Scran
surprising. He's becoming more like them.
like like Scran. Although I had a debate with him, I'm like, like I don't really want to be associated with people like that.
Yeah, he wanted me to come on, but I never did it.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably should have never did it too if I don't know. I mean, maybe I should have, maybe I shouldn't have done it. But either way, like I came on there and I told the facts. I spoke what was actually there, and the biggest piece of evidence is what George Lucas said back in 2008. And George Lucas said that isn't at all what I would have done. He said once Vader dies, he doesn't come back to life. Luke Skywalker doesn't get married, and the Emperor does not get cloned.
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah.
all there. I mean, at the end of the day, like George
Like
never got to do his sequels,
I
so
showed
we're
him
just
the facts, and the thing is, before I went on the debate with him, I was expecting him to start like I was kind of expecting him to start like to be like starting to like get at me in some way, but then no, it was like very calm. Like it was like not. It was more civil.
yeah. I mean, the chat wasn't very civil, but I don't know if you were
Chat
reading
wasn't
it.
very civil, but me and Scranton both had a one-on-one civil conversation. Like I saw OG Star Wars. She was literally like, I think I remember seeing her like saying like, where did he come up with the idea of Sith cannot become Force ghosts from George Lucas? Where's his proof? He doesn't share any sources. He doesn't. Well, I was new to Restream and I didn't really know how Restream worked. So, and
That's yeah. I mean, that's pretty funny. Wasn't there a YouTube post that she did, and I think Lucky
she,
said she didn't provide a source at all.
yeah, like she faked the quote from George Lucas where it sounded like somebody actively writing the story, and that was Timothy Zahn.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there was
And
one
then
where she posted like something that George said in an interview, and there wasn't a source. Is that the Zahn one, or is that something else?
I
I
think it
might be
was the Zahn
confused.
one.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure, but I'm pretty positive it was the Zahn one. But yeah. But it's just like looking back at it, it's just kind of funny. And then I'm surprised. I'm surprised I haven't seen any like Chris Chan meltdown modes on Twitter or anywhere yet from these people ever since I did the live with you. I was expecting to see that.
Uh, I mean, oh yeah, I was half expecting it, but then at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if they do,
Yeah.
because I'm enjoying my time.
I think they saved their Chris Chan meltdowns for their Discord server. They probably don't show a lot of their
Probably.
meltdowns on. Because remember, you sent some screenshots to Lucky Kennedy a while back of their meltdown, and Lucky Kennedy sent me
Yeah.
some of the screenshots
Yeah.
before you left the group.
I think Lucky Kennedy knows how to push their buttons pretty well.
Yeah, like Lucky Kennedy showed me all of the notifications she got from OG Star Wars, and it was like so many notifications. Like she was obsessed with Lucky Kennedy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a good look, because if you're making that many posts, it just shows that you're bothered by what the other person is saying.
And the thing is, Lucky Kennedy says apparently I live rent free. Well, I even said this to him too. Like apparently Lucky Kennedy lives rent free in their head, and
Yeah.
living living rent free, living in the head rent free. But OG Star Wars flips it and says that we live rent free in Lucky Kennedy's head.
Yeah, every time, like, Kennedy always has a post of what Brandon says, and it's like Brandon gets pretty bothered by what Kennedy says quite often.
Yeah, like he like it's just like Brandon reacted to the video where she called out where he called out OG Star Wars, and then Brandon was trying to rip on Lucky Kennedy. And it
I,
was like,
I'm not sure if I saw that one, but Kennedy
yeah,
never said anything, so I guess it never really landed.
yeah, it was in a live stream from a while back, but yeah, and then Brandon kept making excuses for OG Star Wars, saying, "Well, because since Lucky Kennedy says I question this woman's reading ability by going off her tweets," and then Brandon kept saying, "Well, English is not her first language."
Wha- I mean,
I mean,
what?
but still, that's not an excuse.
Yeah, I mean, isn't she like an American citizen? Wasn't she born in America? I'd imagine she would need to learn English
Yeah,
to.
I mean, she's Native American, and the way and I saw one of her live streams, and it sounds like she understands English pretty well.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I
I
I
don't
was
buy it.
always, yeah, I mean, I was always under the impression that she understood English really well and can speak it really well.
Yeah, so there's no excuse. So
No,
yeah,
I
it's
mean, there's always an excuse for them, I find, but if Kennedy or someone else, there's no excuses for them.
that's why I had a nickname for OG Star Wars, OG Narcissist, because she is always making excuses, and according to her, like nothing's ever her fault, and she's always blaming people like me and Lucky Kennedy for all of her problems.
Yeah, I mean, it's she couldn't own up to a mistake, so she just lashed out at Kennedy, and it's just
And
I don't know.
she claimed it was clarified, but the thing is, I looked at and I saw no evidence of her clarifying anything what she did was wrong.
Yeah, nothing I've seen did any of that. It was more just her defending the mistake she made, and she would have looked better had she just said, "Yeah, I made that mistake."
Yeah. Like I made a mistake on my YouTube channel reporting on a live stream, reporting on a leak, not a live stream. I got my words mixed up, but I reported on
Yeah,
a yeah, reporting on a leak for Star Wars Starfighter, and like this Cade leak, and how Cade was this kid's father, and he was actually the uncle, but I didn't read the article thoroughly, and I just did a video just going straight off the dome, which I shouldn't have done that, and I regretted it. And then someone came in the comments correcting me, and then I ended up going back and clarifying what I said wrong. I made a YouTube short as a follow up saying, "Hey, this is not correct, and this is what's actually correct." And I do apologize for the misinformation that I didn't, and like I didn't intentionally do it. I was just going straight off the dome and not really reading the source. But then I told him what was actually there, and I told him that this was an honest mistake.
yeah. I mean, that's the way to go. I think with OG, it was more just not wanting Kennedy to have a win. I think I think that's how she was interpreting it.
Well, and the fact that she calls Kennedy a grifter, he's not even monetized.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's
She
grifting for free. Then, if that's the case.
People would think that I'm monetized on YouTube, but I'm not monetized yet because of the watch hours, the watch time hours.
Yeah, I mean, what would you and Kennedy have to grift on though? I like that's what I don't understand.
Yeah. Kennedy's not grifting on anything. He's just he what made him wanted to do those videos is that it's because of the way they're acting towards him and just being
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like I don't think they understand where if you're going to behave a certain way on the internet, you can't just not expect people to react. I mean,
Yeah,
Kennedy's just reacting to how they're behaving, and it just doesn't seem like they can take that all that very well. They can't handle people reacting to what they do.
like according to OG Star Wars, me and Lucky Kennedy are stalking her because we called her out for the way that she was acting. And she went and had a meltdown saying, "He's stalking me. He's stalking me." And I'm like, how ridiculous. Are you even listening to what you're saying? Because uh, if I would, like, I think I told her one time, if I was stalking you, I'd be at your house already. So sit down.
I
I was like,
mean, she said that to Darth Momo as well. She accused him of stalking.
yeah, and like, it's not stalking in a way where you're calling somebody out.
No, I
Stalking
mean that's
clearly,
yeah.
clearly, what stalking is if you're constantly watching her social media. Well, that's part of it, but you're not like. But her social media is public anyways, so that
Yeah, I mean,
wouldn't
I
be
think
considered
with
stalking.
no, I think with this sort of scenario, if you're making public posts and you're making these posts directed towards people, you're going to have people monitoring what you post. So I
Yeah,
don't really understand how it's stalking. If she
yeah.
was if she had a profile private, then you could sort of say, yeah, it's stalking, but it's not.
No, it's not stalking if her profile's public, and if she's putting misinformation,
Mm,
she can't expect us to not react. I mean, she brought that on herself. Like
yeah, I mean,
if
it's
you it,
just
like if someone was spreading misinformation and somebody called them out for that, that person brought it on themselves. It's pure and simple.
yeah, and you just did the professional thing and just say, yeah, I made a mistake. Thanks for pointing it out, and
But
just
yeah,
correct that mistake, like you did.
yeah. Like I'm always willing to correct my mistakes. I've made mistakes in the past on my channel. We all do. And as long as you correct it, it's cool. It's pretty much cool as long
Yeah,
as you correct your mistakes.
yeah, and once you do that, people forget you even made a mistake. It's if you do what OG did, that's when people will remember the mistake, and they still do because she's fighting it so much.
But like she needs to just let that go, really. I mean, if she could have all she had to do was go on YouTube, like make a follow-up short or even just a community post clarifying what she did wrong. But instead, she had several meltdowns, calling me and Lucky Kennedy stalkers, calling Darth Momo a stalker, calling everybody that called her out a stalker, and then saying that she's going to have her husband do an investigation or to maybe sue, which
Oh,
she has no
yeah.
legal power to do that.
That's
So
oh man, that was I remember when Kennedy sent me that, I was cringing because that's so bad. Why would you say that because someone says something you don't like online?
somebody says you something you don't like, you just block them.
Yeah, pretty
Simple.
much.
I mean, um, if people were totally harassing me on my social media like OG did, and she got herself blocked, but she brought it on herself. She did this to
Yeah.
herself. It's so funny to me how these people act, and it's also childish of Brandon to be calling everybody Ray lovers ever since for losing it when he loses an argument. It's kind of childish to be doing name callings.
Yeah, I mean they're doing the whole Knights of Melvin thing and it hasn't made an impact in any way. People are still watching Disney Star Wars, people are still paying for it. It's not going to change anything. So
No, and
I don't know what they're going for here, really.
the only thing I'll acknowledge Knights of Melvin on is when he called out Doomcock for putting out misinformation. Like those, like Doomcock and Mike Zero needed to be called out, and that's the only thing I'll give him a compliment on is calling out those people for spreading misinformation. But as far as everything else, trying to avenge Star Wars, to me, he just sounds like a complete idiot and an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how long he's been at it, but yeah, I don't think it's really had any sort of effect at Disney or Lucasfilm.
No,
I think they're going all right regardless.
and he also got to watch it too, because eventually, like the way he's making fun of Star Wars Explained and doing things that could contribute to defamation in the future, like it probably doesn't affect Star Wars Explained as much, but if it does in the future, he better be careful, because when it comes to that case, then Star Wars Explained could probably file a lawsuit against Knights of Melvin.
I'm not sure how it all works, but
Yeah.
I'm sure eventually it's.
Or at the very minimum, write a complaint to YouTube. You there? Hold on.
Oh man, we were going so well, and now it disconnected.
Man.
Well, I'm back now, so.
But yeah, it's really like I remember. Man, what were we talking about again?
Oh, just like the stuff Melvin does and everything like that.
Yeah, to me, like Melvin, like Star Wars Explained, like I know like how the YouTube system works and stuff like that. Like Star Wars Explained could either file a lawsuit, or if they don't want to spend the money on lawyers, they could probably write a complaint about him on YouTube and get his channel taken down. Just like Star Wars Marvel Purist got his channel taken down.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I think Brandon is probably going to be the next one to get his channel taken down for his heretic behavior. I think I'm predicting that at some point, probably in the next, I don't know, I can't predict exactly when, but I have a strong feeling he's going to get banned from YouTube too.
Yeah, I think you could only do that stuff for so long before you eventually like get your channel terminated. I mean, you could go maybe a decade or so, but I feel like eventually it'll happen sooner or later.
Like, what exactly did Star Wars Marvel Purist to get his channel banned? Like, what exactly did he do? Do you know any background on that?
From what I remember, I think Carly King.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he
I've
did
heard
a
of him.
stream. No, it's a girl. Like, it's a woman.
Oh, heard
right?
of her? Yeah.
Yeah, female Star Wars YouTuber, and I think he did a video or a stream on her, and I think he did like because his channel got terminated for harassment because he breached TOS. So I think he must have said something in that stream or video that Carly King then flagged for YouTube.
Yeah. So was it his live stream that he made?
I'm not sure if it was a live stream or a video, but he made something and she was able to show YouTube, hey, this is harassment, and it got his channel terminated.
Well, that's it. Well, Star Wars Explained could do the same thing with Knights of Melvin.
Yeah, I mean they could, but I guess he just doesn't really bother them that much for them to really make the effort. Because I feel like they could, like they're a big enough channel, they could probably do it if they really wanted to. Because if
Yeah,
Carly King got it done, I don't see how they couldn't.
yeah. But yeah, Star Wars Marvel purist was pissed when, but he's now on Rumble, which I do not like Rumble. Rumble is not a place that I like.
I
There's
don't
too
use
many.
Rumble all that often. There's the only times I've watched something on Rumble is if I'm watching like a lolcow video that was originally on YouTube, and then
Yeah,
YouTube says no, we don't want that video on here, so they'll just upload it on Rumble because Rumble I think is pretty loosey goosey with what you can upload, as long as it's not like you know murder or
yeah,
anything like that.
yeah. My only issue with Rumble is that there's too many people like Brandon and on there, and
Yeah, I
yeah,
did notice that. It's a very conservative website.
yeah. That's the reason. That's part of the reason like why I don't want to be on Rumble. I'd rather be on like YouTube because YouTube is better.
Yeah, I don't know how Rumble works if you have a channel on there. Like, what I don't know how many followers or subscribers or whatever you need to get monetization or something. I don't know how it works over
Yeah.
there.
But yeah, Rumble, I can like I've seen videos on Rumble in the past, but Rumble's just not my thing. I prefer YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when it first came out. I think it was a few years ago. There's this big like controversy about YouTube and how they were treating creators. So then people started saying, "Oh, just go to Rumble. You can upload whatever you want there." And
Yeah. I like with YouTube, like I'm able to connect with more Star Wars channels, like Star Wars Explained. Like eventually, like I
yeah,
would like to go to like they have Rebel Scum Con that happens down in Texas every year, and someday I'd like to go to like a
okay.
Rebel Scum Con, and a lot of creators like Star Wars Explained go down there. I know Will goes down there, Will of the Force. I don't know if you've heard of his channel.
I've heard the name, but I don't think I've ever watched anything on that channel.
Yeah, he does a lot of reactions, and then there's also Star Wars Sith. He does a lot of Star Wars conventions going. He doesn't really like make Star Wars content, but he does a lot of Star Wars. He goes to a lot of Star Wars conventions.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to one, but it's always too far.
Yeah, like for like down in Texas, like Texas is only like 5 hours away from me, so I could probably drive down there.
Oh yeah, you could definitely do that. Yeah, it's not too far.
Yeah. Or a flight is only like an hour and a half. So I've flown. I've flown many times. I've been on airplanes many times.
Is there did Star Wars Celebration already happen this year, or is that coming up?
Star Wars Celebration is coming up next year. It's coming up in
Oh,
April,
okay. Yeah.
but I don't know if I'll be able to make it. I don't think I'll be able to make it because the tickets are already sold out. They sold out within a day.
Oh yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
They sold out within a day, and they uh they pretty much are all like they pretty much are all packed, and I don't know if any alternatives where I can buy the ticket, but even then, like I don't know if I'm going to be able to come because of my crazy schedule. But next year I am thinking about going to Rebel Scum Con to meet some Star Wars creators over there, and it's for all Star Wars fans, like people of the fans of the old EU and fans of the current canon as well. It's got all those events down there.
You should vlog it when you go there.
I definitely will. That's definitely I vlogged. In fact, I'll show you. This is my This is my going into the Mandalorian and Grogu movie theater. I'll pull it up, but it's the Mandalorian and Grogu movie theater. So, right down here, it's on my channel. But I did like a review on the Mandalorian and Grogu. Oh, this is a spoiler review.
Oh, okay. Oh, so this is it? Yeah.
This is going. Highly recommend check.
Oh no, wait, that's not
yes,
it. That's not it. It's the other one. Couldn't recall if it was a spoiler or the non-spoiler. Oh, this is a spoiler-free review. This is what I did with the video footage. I
Oh, there
vlogged
you
my
go.
walk-in.
Yeah.
To let you guys know how it turns out. And the movie theater is like right across the street from my house. I added those pictures in. I just got finished watching The Mandalorian and Grogu. It was pretty good. The first two acts felt more like a continuation of a TV show, and then things really start picking up in the third act. And the film wasn't quite what I expected it, or aligned with my predictions, or some of the stuff that I've read. Like, some of it was accurate to the leaks I've been reporting on my channel, but then some of it was like stuff that I wasn't expecting in The Mandalorian and Grogu, and it didn't really quite go as I expected, but overall, this film was pretty great, and it's definitely worth going to see.
So that's like your first vlog video, right?
Darth Watt.
Yeah. This is a video on the spoiler-free review. This is like the whole background in my room, pretty much.
Oh, okay. Have you thought of putting a green screen in your room for some videos, or is green screen?
Yeah, I thought of putting a green screen. That'd probably be better, because I know the background can be a little bit distracting. You still there?
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm still here.
But yeah, the background can be a little bit distracting. So that's why it'd probably be better if I do the green screen.
Yeah, and then you can do whatever background you want.
Yeah. Like, I wanted to do a background of me like sitting inside of a Star Destroyer. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
Make
like I know
good background.
Urban Acolyte did a video where it made him look like he was sitting inside of a Millennium Falcon.
Oh wow, yeah, green screens are pretty good.
Yeah. It'd be much more like, especially it'd help me get more views on the channel too.
Yeah, especially with the videos you're doing now, like your long
Yeah.
form ones, those will be pretty good.
The live stream last weekend gave me a boost in my watch time on my YouTube channel. Kind of gave me a little bit.
Oh wow, that's pretty
I'll
good.
probably be at like 100 more watch hours than I was before then, which is more than normal because I have like close to 1,000 watch hours. My goal is to reach
Nice.
4,000 hours of watch time. I think for right now, I should focus more on voiceovers for right now until I can get a green screen.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea because you can make the green screen like background specific to the type of video you're doing.
Yeah. I know. I think didn't Darth. I think Darth Momo did a couple of green screen videos
Yeah, yeah, he's done a
before.
few.
Yeah, like Darth Momo. He made a video on. Yeah, he did a video on George Lucas and the EU, and yeah, like So basically, like when you made a video responding to Darth Momo, like what exactly were like the points you disagreed with him on?
Oh, it was more just the way he was depicting George's like view on the EU, because just the way he was portraying it was like George didn't care at all,
Yeah,
which I just didn't agree with. But then maybe I just didn't interpret Momo's video correctly. I don't know. But
yeah,
me and Momo pretty much agree on the same thing. So it was more just, I guess, his delivery of his video. Just
yeah.
yeah,
Like sometimes it can be like the way we say things. Sometimes
yeah.
it's the way you say it's the way we say things. Sometimes that can be like, for example, like way everything gets said can be interpreted the wrong way, and like when you're speaking on a video, like trying to present something, like it matters like how you say it because some people will interpret it the wrong way. But Darth Momo was pretty good. He was a nice guy. I've interacted with him a few times in the comments.
Oh my, yep. Man, we were doing pretty good, and yeah, second time it's disconnected.
Second, oh, it disconnected the second time.
Yeah, I mean we were going pretty good, like at almost an hour and 40 minutes, and then it's just yeah, after the hour mark, it just disconnected. Like this is the second time it's happened.
Yeah, it's probably the internet connection or some bad connection that's happening.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have this problem with what's the other streaming? What's the other one? I forget the name. StreamYard, is that what it is? But then I
Yeah,
haven't used it very much, so it might happen there as well.
yeah. I know Darth Momo has moved on from Darth Momo's moved on from he's pretty much moved on from Star Wars, like doing Star Wars videos. But like he doesn't make
Yeah.
as much. But it doesn't mean he doesn't make Star Wars videos anymore. He doesn't make as much as he used to because he's more focused on his book. But
Mm.
uh, it'd be nice if we ever had like Darth Momo on here.
Yeah, I think they'd be pretty cool if he was on here as well.
Yeah, yeah, we have like Darth Momo, and yeah, I know Lucky Kennedy's been busy with work and stuff, so he hasn't really been on the live stream. He hasn't. He can't really come on right now because of work. That's what he said to me. But
Mm.
yeah, I was thinking maybe we could do like a group live stream, like have a few other creators. If you have like some suggestions, I know I've talked to a few people as well.
Oh, besides you, Kennedy and Momo, I don't really talk to anyone else, so I wouldn't have anyone to bring up.
I know Emperor John Kill 3D Gaming. He was pretty good. In fact, he made a video. I'll pull it up. He made some videos on. Hold on, let me pull it up.
Oh, okay, I've seen this guy's
What's up,
short
everybody?
on
Emperor
Brandon.
John Kill 3D
Yeah,
Gaming.
I've seen this
Yeah.
one.
He
I
made a
remember
video.
this.
He made a video on Brandon.
Here, and we got another fraud to expose. I've been basically taking Brandon the Awesome to pound down for about a day and a half already, and whoo-wee, none of these guys are ever original. They're just clones of each other, just like that Star Wars Forge guy. Somebody's beeping a horn. Just like that other moron, George Torch, whatever the hell his name is, or the other retard called Seal. I'll make videos on them on a different day, but Brandon the Awesome doesn't know really anything of what he's talking about, and he just can't accept the fact that he's getting clapped constantly, and his final resort to losing is just calling someone a fake fan, which these idiots realize they don't have the power to do that. So what's up, everybody?
That says him. That says that's pretty much well said.
Is he aware of Brandon defending that Ahsoka figure? Is he aware of that?
I think he is. He hasn't really like mentioned any of that stuff, but he's mentioned some other things, like he said Ray Love, or he's calling people fake fans of as a resort to losing an argument, and can't handle the fact that he's being clapped at.
So he's done a video on Forge. Has he done on? Is that the only video he's done on Brandon?
He's done another one right down here.
What's up, everybody? Emperor John Kill 3D Gaming here. What happens when you take the quartering, Geeks and Gamers, Anna, that Star Wars girl, they turn her inside out? You get this abomination of a fraud. Brandon the Awesome. After he was attacking some guy on X, a regular Star Wars fan called Lucky Kennedy, I basically went in, gave Brandon the Awesome a public spanking. He threw a bit of a hissy fit and was just moving the goalposts, and I was just giving him simple Star Wars questions to answer, and he just kept trying to flip the questions or change the answer like it was gonna help, and then saying that he could beat me in a lightsaber duel. Like, boy, I've taught myself Form 3 and Form 5, so don't hurt yourself, you fraud. What's up, everybody? Emperor John Kill.
So, yeah.
Oh man. Oh dude.
He kept flipping the question when he was giving him simple Star Wars questions to answer, as if that was going to help. But yeah, it's so funny. Like Star Wars Forge, he's not much better. This is what this guy had to say.
What's up, everybody? Emperor John Kill 3D Gaming here with another video on my way out to work, but I need to expose another fraud, just like I did last time, and this is on Star Wars Forge. And you wonder why his subscriber count stays at 62? Because nothing that this fucking mouth breather says, and especially he looks like a rejective Dennis Quaid. Yeah, I basically flamed this dude on his lack of knowledge of Star Wars and his tourist mindset when it comes to the universe and his toxic gatekeeping, or gatekeeping, but I mean with him it's more like gatekeeping. Star Wars debate aftermath. Every aftermath ends with this man bitching. So Star Wars Forge is a fraud, everybody. He's no different than these wannabe Fandom Menace members. So Star Wars Forge is a punk.
The Gatekeepers Alliance are no different
than
than
these
Fandom Menace wannabes. Pretty much.
Yeah, they don't like being called the Fandom Menace.
Well, their scenario is the Fandom Menace doesn't exist anymore. Well, yeah, that group doesn't exist anymore, but the people, the YouTubers that were a part of it still exist. Oh, and yeah, Pizza Man made a video on Brandon the Awesome too.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, that was, I just cracked up laughing.
Yeah, I think it was right after SK did one as well.
Yeah, like SK did a video response, and that relates to Spider-Man. But yeah, Emperor John Kill 3D Gaming is a pretty good channel. I like his channel overall. Like, he does a lot of gaming.
Yeah,
he does some good Star Wars videos, but it's not all just Star Wars.
It'd be pretty good if he came up for part of the streams. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'll show you what Rebel ScumCon is all about. It's over here. Like, she's at Rebel ScumCon. this person, the Ray side. You've heard of her, have you?
Oh yeah, I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah, like she does reactions and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much Rebel ScumCon is pretty much.
I started posting YouTube shorts and my channel exploded. vidIQ's AI shorts clipping is the
G'day there. Welcome to day 2 of Rebel ScumCon. What do I have to update you on? Finalised my notes, so I have a panel today at 5 p.m. with a hairstylist for The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett. She's done so many designs in all of those shows. There's so many people here that weren't here yesterday, so let's go down there. I hope you're enjoying so far.
For the weekend, I just booked our flights.
Damn, there's a lot of things here.
Let's go see a show.
That's pretty much the whole entire event.
Laugh and dance all night. We
All of that.
Right over the sea.
Oh yeah, and there's the EU books. I think,
Got the EU book.
EU books. Yeah.
They got stuff from like both continuities, from the EU and canon.
Yeah.
There's Star Wars Sith.
What the hell is that? Olaf.
Oh, is that him?
What the
Okay.
hell is Olaf Presents? Why is that for me?
I don't know. You said this is for.
Oh! I'm like, why would I give a shit about Olaf? That's hilarious. That is a great review. That's sick though. Okay, that is sick then. I was like, kind of low-key disappointed a little.
You said it's for you. Going up, Johnny.
Hey, do you want to say hey to the vlog? That was good. That was good.
General Grievous.
Pretty busy. Yeah, like
They got the
I didn't
hunt.
expect it to be so busy.
Oh, Andor, the scene from Andor.
Yeah. Yeah.
They- Kind of looks like a lot of fun. It's definitely worth going to.
You both have the high ground. You both have the high ground there.
Look at, I still got the high ground on.
That's it. That's it. Gonna go see Carly because she's heading out today. But so I'm just gonna get a quick photo, say bye to her before she goes. There we go. Wire. Oh. Rip tech. Rip tech. Whatever.
I think that's the woman there that got Kira's panel taken down.
Kira's channel
We're
taken
about
down.
to do the
Yeah, I think we just saw
It's
Carly King.
gonna be exciting.
The Ray side.
Welcome.
No.
To
It was a bit earlier in the video. The one that was holding that Bad Batch figure.
The one that was holding the Bad Batch.
Space.
Yeah, she was the one that I think she was the one that got Kira's channel taken down.
So many of the Star shows that we know.
Well,
so many characters.
she did
within
the
that,
right thing.
Obviously, have a lot of hairstyles. There's a lot of hair that goes into Star Wars. So we're going to learn all about it and her work on it, designing, creating some of our favorite character looks. So Maria, welcome. Welcome. To
This is pretty much. They have also like Star Wars trivia to like. Basically, you win a prize by like if you pass the test of Star Wars knowledge. Like they test your knowledge on Star Wars, and which would be interesting. I'd love to enter a trivia because I know like this is pretty much what I pretty much know the movies, but then I also have read some of the books. Both in the EU and canon. I haven't read every single canon book. I haven't read every single EU book. There's so many, and I'm still working on getting caught up on the books. But I'm going to be using those books for my future Star Wars lore videos.
And there's plenty of content to make with those books.
Plenty of content to make with all of those books, really. Like there's books coming out, and you got to review those books, but not just the books, but the movies, the games, like all of it.
Oh yeah.
Like there's like with the amount of Star Wars that's out today, like you're gonna be busy making content for years.
Oh yeah, it's practically endless.
Yeah, it's like endless content. You're gonna be busy making Star Wars content going over all of this stuff. Like, I know the basic lore of the EU. Like, I know it goes over 20,000 years before the events of episode 1, if I can recall, in the EU. Like,
Oh,
goes way back to the
it can
beginning of
go as far back as the creation of the galaxy. Like this, not like stories, but like if you at the timeline, it
yeah.
does mention like events that happen since like the Big Bang, but yeah,
Yeah.
like it's
Like
pretty like
way
way big,
back.
yeah.
Like going way back to the galaxy's formation, to the old Republic times. It goes
Mm.
to right before the events of episode 1 with Darth Plagueis. Darth Plagueis would be like Star Wars episode 0 in the expanded universe.
Essentially, yeah.
Essentially, it's like Star Wars episode 0. And then we got the Darth Plagueis novel, which is a really good novel. I love the Darth Plagueis novel. I've listened to the
Yeah.
audiobook quite a few times. It was pretty good. And we also got the events of the films in the expanded universe. And then we got beyond that. We got Luke Skywalker regrowing a new generation of Jedi. And Luke Skywalker gets married to Mara Jade. He has a son, Ben Skywalker. And then we go all the way to the Legacy comics, which is over a century after Return of the Jedi, about Luke Skywalker's great grandson, Cade Skywalker. And we have Darth Talon, who is the apprentice of Darth Krayt. And Darth Talon attempts to turn the great grandson of Luke Skywalker to the dark side, the last descendant of the Skywalker family, to the dark side. And those comics were really great too. Like I've gone through those, and that's pretty much the basic lore that I know of the EU. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm telling that to OG Star Wars, who claims I don't know anything about the lore.
It's with them. It's either you're against Disney or you know how it
Yeah.
is. Like if you like anything Disney, that's it. Like I don't agree that the Disney canon is 100% bad because nothing is 100% bad and nothing is 100% good. But
Yeah.
yeah, like it
Like
doesn't bother me if you like Disney Star Wars. I don't care. Like
Like
I wish I could enjoy it, but it's just
yeah.
not for me.
Well, it's like I'm not thrilled with everything Disney has done with Star Wars, but there are things that I liked and didn't like about it.
Yeah.
Like there were some parts also in the EU that I didn't like. Like I didn't like the fact that Jason Solo didn't get a redemption and that his own sister basically
Yeah.
killed him. That's what I didn't like in the EU. I didn't like where that story went. But at the same time, I'm not saying that the EU is bad just because I saw something I didn't like in the EU.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they both that whether it's Disney or the EU, they both have their flaws at times. I feel like.
Just like with everything else,
Yeah, like even the
Well,
prequels,
there's
when the
good things,
prequels
yeah.
came out, like Star Wars fans weren't too kind to George Lucas when he made the prequels, and
I
like
remember that, yeah.
but to basically say like I just listed like everything that I know about the EU, how it goes from a century all the way to like century after Return of the Jedi to all the way to the beginning of the time with the galaxy and talking about the old Republic. Like that shows that I know the basics of the lore. Like I know the lore. Like you don't have to read every single book in the EU to know like the whole lore story. Like I know all the basics, like basically on timeline wise of what happened
Yeah.
in the EU, but I haven't read every single book yet because there's so many books in the EU that uh that 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 I need to catch up on, and so it's pretty much like I know Star Wars Explained has read every single canon book and every single EU book, and he did a like complete Star Wars Legends timeline video referencing every book that's in the EU. And I think it was like a really long video. But he couldn't cover every single moment in the EU because the video would probably go on for like 5 hours.
Yeah,
But there's so
there's
much
so
in the
much.
EU.
Yeah.
Like it would require me to make like if I were to go over every single Legends moment going from the beginning of time till like after the events of Return of the Jedi, that video would probably be like 5 or 6 hours long. Or probably even more than that.
Oh yeah, because if you go into absolute detail, it could be like 12, 20 hours long, depending on how in depth your video is.
And people aren't going to stick around on YouTube that long, so it's better to break it up into sections and do each video on this section, each video on this section, and like create a playlist that talks about the lore. Like what I really liked in the EU was the Old Republic. The Old Republic was awesome in my opinion. I liked the Knights of the Old Republic, Darth Revan, and Darth Malgus. I had the cool thought because Darth Malgus and Snoke in the sequel trilogy, like Darth Malgus and Snoke both had similar injuries. So I was like, well, I wonder if Darth Malgus is Snoke and they're bringing him back into canon. That would have been really cool if they had like Darth Malgus in the sequel trilogy. That would have been awesome.
It's definitely better than what they came up with.
Yeah. So, Rhodium Prime 2162 says, do you guys like Rogue One? And it's one of my favorites, and I think it's not as good as the original trilogy or the Phantom Menace and Return of the ROTS, but it's better than Attack of the Clones IMO. Would you agree with that?
I mean I like Rogue One. I think it's the best Disney Star Wars movie, but yeah, I mean if someone asks me like what's worth watching with Disney Star Wars movies, I'd say Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One was pretty good. I liked Rogue One, and Andor was completely like a reflection on what's happening in the USA today.
Yeah, it's political commentary.
Yeah, like we saw it happen. Like Mon Mothma made a speech and talked about how they will come for us all, and then they tried to stop her, and like because the Empire wanted to silence the citizens, and they would just arrest anybody that just stood in their way. Like
yeah.
I remember Bix, like one of the Imperial officers in one of the episodes in Andor season 2, like tried to rape Bix, but then Bix broke free. And that's exactly what's happening in the real world. We have like officers, like ICE agents doing that. It's like even officers like abuse their power sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I saw a video not too long ago of an officer. She pulled this woman over for no reason, dragged her out of the car, and just threw her to the ground and punched her in the face. And slapped handcuffs on her for no reason.
Yeah.
And it was all on video. And I commented, I said, this is unacceptable. This officer needs to lose his job and go to jail and get tried. Because some officers can be total like can just be total like total assholes sometimes.
I agree. Yeah.
So he says that I love Attack of the Clones, but Rogue One is a better film. I don't disagree with you on that one, but I do love the prequels though.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith and episode 1 were pretty good. Episode 1 and Revenge of the Sith were the first 2 Star Wars movies I was introduced to. And then it was the original trilogy, and then I saw Attack of the Clones last. So it's kind of out of order. But
Attack of the Clones is my comfort film.
yeah, I liked Attack of the Clones because it really like dives more into like Anakin's story in a way. Like I like Anakin Skywalker, like how he like it like if you really notice, stopped and took a notice, like right before Revenge of the Sith, like right after Revenge of the Sith, but like even in Attack of the Clones, you can see how the story fits in. And with the ending of Revenge of the Sith, uh, it ties so perfectly into the story where Anakin gets put together as Darth Vader.
Yeah, I agree.
And we see Padme dying, and then as she's dying, Vader was slowly being put together. And then she dies once Vader rises. When she dies, Vader rises. And I thought, and that was very neat how George Lucas pulled that off.
It's a really well put together scene.
Yeah, like the entire prequel trilogy was well put together with the original trilogy. What also I noticed is that you know how when Yoda was training with Luke Skywalker on Dagobah, he was saying, "Beware of the dark side, anger, fear, aggression." And Yoda also warned Luke if he went to help his friends on Bespin in Cloud City that he would become an agent of evil. Of course, he didn't turn to the dark side, but he disobeyed like Yoda, and Obi-Wan told him not to go. Yoda says he must not go, but Luke goes anyways. But Luke didn't. The way like the themes in The Empire Strikes Back, the way Yoda and his training with Luke Skywalker about being aware of the dark side. And then you see the prequel trilogy, Anakin Skywalker goes through similar things. He has attachments towards his mother. Padme wanted to learn how to stop people from dying, and that's what led him to the dark side. And we see those same same like lessons that are being played out that was based from Anakin's mistake, and Anakin like what pushed Anakin to the dark side, and Yoda warning what would happen to Luke if he fell down that path. So that's what also fits in perfectly with the story.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
So yeah, just that alone, like George Lucas did a pretty good job of connecting the prequels with the originals very well when it comes to that. So he says that I love the mystery of. So Rodimus Prime says that I love the mystery Obi-Wan subplot from Attack of the Clones. It's very fun. The action scenes were awesome, especially Yoda versus Dooku and Jango Fett and versus Obi-Wan.
Yeah, there's just a lot to like with Attack of the Clones.
Yeah. I like the battle scene between Yoda and Count Dooku. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I really liked how Yoda says, "Still have much to learn." You have.
I was like, yeah, and just how when Dooku uses the lightning, Yoda just,
Yeah,
he just absorbs that.
Or makes the ceiling crumble with the Force.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome. But then Dooku makes his escape, and then how like Anakin was gonna say, "I'll take him now," and then Obi-Wan was like, "No, Anakin, no," and then he gets his arm cut off.
Yeah.
And also, that's another parallel with the original trilogy because every second of the film with Luke Skywalker, with Luke's, as far as Luke Skywalker and Anakin, they both got their limbs cut off in the second film.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, what's that quote George said? It's like, oh my god, I know that I used to hear that quote all the time, and now that I need to say it,
Yeah.
the
But
quote about everything coming together.
yeah. Like George Lucas like knew when he was writing stories. This is the
Mm.
reason why I respect George Lucas so much as a filmmaker. He's one of the filmmakers I respect the most because he's done a neat job with Star Wars. He's really like changed the way we see
Oh yeah,
films. Like even back in 1977. Private chat. Oh, you got ahead.
oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you requested this to be an hour and a half.
Yeah, just got some things that have come up. Just
Yeah.
gotta address them.
Yeah. Although we did go live a little bit earlier than normal.
Mm.
But yeah, he's gotta. Yeah, I understand you gotta head out. So we'll wrap up this live stream. But it was good. It was another good live stream.
Yeah, it was good. I'm enjoying this. We need to keep making it a weekly thing.
Yeah. So are you up? Well, I don't know if I'm gonna make next weekend work because of Labor Day weekend. I'm doing stuff
Oh,
Labor
okay.
Day weekend.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking maybe the following weekend and then start this as like a weekly thing.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah, we'll have to work those things out. I might be able to do it next weekend. Just have to see what I have going on for Labor Day weekend.
Okay. Just let me know. Well,
Yeah.
what the plan is.
So that's pretty much it. But anyways, it was a good stream, but that we're gonna have to wrap it up here because Scruffy's got stuff going on, and it was great having you on again. It's been an honor.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Alrighty, well, we're gonna wrap up this stream, and also one more comment, one more person in the chat, uh, same person. Hot take: I like the romance in Attack of the Clones. The romance was pretty good. I liked it too in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, I like it. It could be a bit cheesy, but like I don't mean that in a bad way. I
No,
like it though. I don't hate it.
yeah. But all right. Well, all right, that's gonna wrap it up for this live stream. So uh yet again, it's been great having you on here, and I hope you have a great week and so on.
You too. Thanks for having me on.
All right. I'll wrap up this live stream and let's end the stream and call it a night.